Thanks again to all our viewers watching today. Welcome to EPCC TV, everyone. I'm Angel Diaz.
And I'm Josue Esquivel.
For today's top stories, we have a report about the rise in infant deaths and what you should do if you spot an unsupervised infant in a hot car. We also have news coverage of local sports and events. Our team has worked hard to bring you these stories and more. Thanks for tuning in, Tejanos.
And don't forget, Angel, we will also learn about the growing political tension around the nation, as well as an update of the construction of the architecture building on the Valle Verde campus. Please stay with us.
¿Te puedo contar algo?
¿Qué pasó?
La verdad, ahorita estoy muy preocupada. No sé si meterme a la escuela o dedicarme a trabajar.
No te preocupes, la verdad yo estoy igual, no sé a qué universidad meterme.
Hey, ¿están indecisos en qué hacer con su vida? No se preocupen, porque EPCC tiene la solución para ustedes. El Base Community College cuenta con diferentes carreras como enfermería, arquitectura, negocios, criminología, entre muchas otras más que te ayudarán a convertirte en un futuro profesional. Además, contamos con diferentes campus alrededor de toda la ciudad para facilitar tus estudios. Y si no cuentas con ayuda financiera, no te preocupes, porque nuestros expertos están listos y entrenados para ayudarte en todo lo que se requiera. Y recuerda que todos tus créditos pueden ser enviados para que continúes tus estudios en cualquier otra universidad. ¿Qué estás esperando? Regístrate ahora en www.epcc.edu. El Paso Community College, el mejor lugar para empezar.
Not sure if you've heard about this, Josue, but between January and June, 18 children in the United States have died due to heat stroke after being left unattended in vehicles. Covering more on this is our very own Isabel Escoto on what you can do to save a life in such a situation.
El Paso is feeling the heat this summer with record-breaking temperatures. Today, we cover what a passerby is legally able to do in case a child is seen alone in a hot vehicle. In 2017, between January and June, there were 18 heat stroke deaths of children left in cars in the United States. I met with Officer Zamora from the El Paso Police Department to discuss what actions can and should be taken.
If a passerby comes by with a child in a hot vehicle, what they need to do is immediately call the police, your emergency number 911, so the responding officers or the fire department can get there. If we're not there yet, then by all means break the window to save that child.
Texas Penal Code 2210 states that a person commits an offense if he or she intentionally or knowingly leaves a child in a motor vehicle for longer than 5 minutes, knowing that the child is 7 years of age or younger and is not attended by an individual in the vehicle who is 14 years of age or older.
One precaution that I take to keep her safe from the heat is my wife and I dress her pretty light in light tops and shorts. We usually carry a water bottle around just in case she looks like she's a little dehydrated, and we try to give her as much water throughout the day. I know a lot of parents, even single parents, might have a hard time keeping track of all the kids in the car, especially if they have more than one. But even with all of that, you should always just take a double check in the back seats, see who's there, and see what needs to be done so you can avoid that. And I really don't think there's much of an excuse. I know a lot of people have the tendency to just go right away and break the window. I know I would want to, but first I would check to see if the car was on. Usually there's a distinction if you can hear the air conditioner on in the car. Then the next thing I would do is call 911 and follow the instructions of the operator instead of taking it into your own hands. If she sees that it's necessary to break open the window, then I would follow the instructions.
If a parent leaves a child in the car, they can go to jail and they could go to prison if it's real bad, especially if the child dies. On the hot days, the best thing parents can do is keep the kids hydrated with water, no soda, no sugary stuff, a lot of water, and keep maybe a damp or a wet towel around if it is extremely hot, especially when we're over 100 degrees plus. Because if it's 90 degrees outside, it's going to be at least 160 inside the car.
On an 80 to 100 degree day, temperatures in a car can reach up to 130 to 172 degrees, and it only takes 10 minutes for that temperature to rise 20 degrees. A child's temperature is able to rise up to 5 times faster than an adult's and is deadly at 107 degrees. That being said, it is extremely important to act fast and call for help. Remember, time is limited and a life is at stake. Should anyone come across a child left alone in a car, please call 911 immediately and wait by the car for help to arrive. Further questions on what you can do in such a situation can be answered by the El Paso Police Department, which can be reached at 915-832-4400. Thank you, EPCC community, and to all of our viewers. We appreciate you joining us today for our news show. This is Isabel Escoto reporting for EPCC TV.
Thank you, Isabel. Such an unfortunate occurrence that this has happened this many times already in only 6 months.
Honestly, I even worry about pets in cars. Remember everyone, it's always important to stay hydrated, especially the children during these scorching summers. And now to discuss the local sports and activities is Josue Esquivel, who is joining us on the other side of the studio with important information about how you can get your body moving this year for a good cause.
That's right, Angel. Everything is ready for the Thanksgiving turkey run this fall. And 2 students from Bowie High School are ready to represent our city by playing college basketball in San Antonio, Texas. The annual Thanksgiving Turkey Run is almost here. Remember, 2 Miles Turkey Run is open for all students with a valid ID. The event is going to take place at the Valle Verde campus. If you're interested in this event, you can sign up the day of the race. Awards are given to the top males and female runners. Attention students, if you're interested in playing sport for college, keep in mind that you will need to register during the first week of September 2017. For those interested in basketball and indoor soccer, the registrations will be the first week of the semester, and those interested in playing flag football will be able to sign up the first 2 weeks of September. If you have any other questions regarding EPCC activities, you can contact Louis Hernandez at 831-2567. 2 high school students from El Paso Independent School District were signed to play basketball in a professional college team. Sergio Marrufo and Andy Valdez will be playing for the following 4 years for Our Lady of the Lake University in San Antonio, Texas.
I'm very excited to experience this, something new, coming out of Bowie. It's an exciting opportunity for me and my family, so I'm pretty excited. Thank you for all the support, all 4 years. You guys were always there, good or bad. Thank you.
It's a great opportunity. A lot of kids and young athletes don't have a chance or the opportunity to go over. And me and Andy were blessed enough to have another chance. I'd like to say thank you to everyone for the support, for everything, for all 4 years that we've been playing. And it's a signing, and to see a lot of people come, it's a good blessing.
The ceremony took place inside Bowie High School gym, where dozens of people, including family, faculty, and friends, came to celebrate with them this big achievement.
I want to tell them that they need to enjoy it, live in the moment, and work hard. Everything's going to come at a price, and that price is working hard, and these guys have been doing that for the past 3 years. So with that work ethic and this opportunity, I know they'll do great out there.
Sergio Marrufo and Andy Valdez are planning to leave the city August 2017 to get ready and meet their new team members in San Antonio. This is all the sports updates that we have for today. I'm going back to you, Angel.
Thank you for that story, Josue. I may just sign up for that run myself. And of course, good luck to those students from Bowie High School that will be representing our community in San Antonio, Texas.
Do you know that El Paso residents who purchase new homes on the far east side will now have to pay more taxes due to the new multiplayer arena being built downtown? Many residents of El Paso have been outspoken about their feelings over the new arena being built, especially those being relocated in the Duranguito neighborhood where the arena is going to be. Reporting on these issues is Angel Diaz.
That's right, Josue. Thank you. Here in downtown El Paso, this Duranguito neighborhood behind me will no longer be here in a couple months, as construction will start for the arena. The downtown arena, also known as the Multi-Purpose Cultural and Performing Arts Center, was approved for contract for $180 million in October of 2016. This downtown arena project is estimated to take about 39 months, which is 3 years to complete. Ex-Mayor Leeser said he does not support the use of eminent domain, but many city officials have said the area does not have buildings with historical designation, though historic preservation advocates said several could qualify for the designation and should not be torn down. The plan was met with disapproval by many who spoke out against the location and the possible use of eminent domain. Duranguito neighbors gathered signatures of residents who were not in favor of the downtown site that was selected. The arena is the largest project under the $478 million Quality of Life Bond approved by voters in 2012. In May of 2017, the city of El Paso was able to enter contracts with all of the property owners except one. Could this holdout be a hurdle, or will the project be completed? Many have different views on the arena. Some say this will bring value to downtown, considering there's already our baseball stadium and the Quality of Life Bond project has been passed to upgrade and make our downtown El Paso more beautiful. On the other hand, many believe the arena should not be placed in the Duranguito neighborhood, but rather in the northeast, where there's less traffic problems like parking. Many residents are against this arena. Some residents sold their homes and are ready to relocate. Others had a different opinion.
I'm really upset, and the thing about it is that, I've dealt with eminent domain, and I made it quite clear that this ball game is not being utilized for eminent domain. Eminent domain is a bad word for me, because I come from the border relocation project for the Chamizal, for the border freeway. My grandmother had property on the Chamizal, and I still have the letters from the actual companies and the state and the water rights department declaring eminent domain being utilized. It's a multi-purpose cultural center, not a multi-purpose cultural arena. Quote that it is not an arena, it's a center, cultural center, not a basketball arena. And again, you cannot utilize funds, federal funds that have been allocated by bond money for entertainment like sports, like you're saying, soccer. It can be utilized for things like libraries, hospitals, roads, fire departments, police departments, something for the community. And I see that the arena that they have in mind is not for what the people of El Paso voted for. And the thing about it that really disappoints me is that all of this is they're deciding projects with our money that we as taxpayers, homeowners, business owners, and don't have a say in it, and they continue to proceed with their doings, not what we want. Most of our neighbors have lived here for generations, raised their kids, grandkids. Their kids still come back and they still live here. And again, we have 89-year-old lady that tell you stories from the past. And that's our walking thesaurus, for our history. And we depend on that so solely for the fact that it is true. They've been there, they lived it. And, what are we going to show our kids for their future generation? Oh, here's a plaque. This is where Pancho Villa used to stand. No, we need to show where Pancho Villa actually laid his head.
At the end of the day, many think the arena won't be beneficial to El Paso. Others think that it will, Reporting live from downtown El Paso, I'm Angel Diaz with EPCC TV.
If you would like to petition the arena being built or have more questions, you can contact your local government by following the link on the screen.
The summertime heat is punishing, so keeping cool and being safe is important for students at EPCC and all El Pasoans. EPCC News' Celeste Monroy gives us more details on weather and safety. Celeste?
Thank you, Angel. It is definitely very hot outside. It is 98 degrees right now, and as the temperatures increase, so do the risks of dehydration and sunburn increase. We see El Pasoans every day working, swimming, running, or doing other activities, but how do they protect themselves from the sun? Ivan Flores, safety specialist at EPCC, who talked to me about safety in the sun, shared some very important facts.
So in order to stay safe within this hot weather, one of the things I do recommend is trying to get as much water as you can. The best time to go outside is before 10 a.m. or after 4 p.m. because then you can avoid the sun's rays. Also, if you're able to use like a really strong sunblock, at least 15 for adults and then 30 SPF for children. Some of the places that people can go to in order to stay cool are like things like pools. They could go possibly to their library if it's open, just because they're gonna have their air conditioner. Even if you come to EPCC, some of our campuses are open, but then there's a lot of people who can be at risk just because of diseases and other things that can compromise your immune system to an extent.
I will definitely take the advice of putting sunscreen on before heading outdoors. Kaylee Vasquez, an EPCC student, tells us how to prepare ourselves before heading out for a run.
I think it's important to stay protected from the sun because obviously, you can get sunburn, you can get skin cancer if you have a really bad sunburn. You can also get heat fatigue, meaning that if you're not protected from the sun, you don't have water or sunscreen, you can end up getting really sick. My mom came back from Florida one year and she was completely sunburned, like head to toe, really red. She looked like a crab and she really couldn't sit down or do anything without being uncomfortable, and it peeled really badly too. Can't emphasize enough to bring plenty of water when you're going to work out in the sun, or even if you're just going to be walking around like downtown or at the fountains with your friends or something, definitely have water handy.
This summer will be long, so while you enjoy it, don't forget that safety is first. Even a pair of glasses with UV protection can help a lot. Angel and Josue, back to you.
Thank you, Celeste, for reminding us about the hazards of extreme weather. To get more facts and find out how you can stay protected, visit a doctor or go to healthfinder.gov. Remember to stay hydrated.
My name is Lynn Hernandez, and I am the Administrative Assistant for the Autism Society of El Paso.
Hi, my name is Will Mary Rios Alicia, and I am a parent of an awesome, terrific kid that is in the spectrum.
I'm Isabel Castillo. I am about to be 20 years old in a few days, so still 19. And I'm attending EPCC Community College for a cinematography major.
We are here to serve the autism community with education and resources to those affected by autism.
They have a lot of activities besides the monthly support groups. They have conferences. They have a lot of activities for the kiddos.
This is Rihanna. This is my daughter. How old are you, Rihanna?
6.
She's 6 years old, and Rihanna was diagnosed a little before the age of 2.
I found out around the later half of 7th grade. When I found out, I'd never kind of heard about it before, and then once my parents told me that I did have it, it brought light onto some things that I never even could understand myself.
Construction is nearly complete on the architecture building at the Valle Verde campus at EPCC, but many are wondering as to what the building will be like and why they built it in the first place. Our investigator Jorge Casillas has a report.
The Z Building, also known as the Architecture Building, has been in construction since April 2016. Many students still have questions about the new building. I interviewed someone to get their opinion.
My name is Jorge Reski, and I work as a technician here for the Valle Verde campus. Well, one of the sites that we're still missing is in between the C building and the A building, which is the underneath path that connects in between parking lots. So construction there is still kind of annoying in some ways because it's taking a lot of space and, you know, time consuming for other students that have to go around the campus just to get to their classes. So I think that's one of the main concerns that I might have.
One question that came up was how much the building would cost.
Roughly $6 million, about $4.8 million for the building.
I talked to Ken Gorski, Architecture Discipline Coordinator for EPCC.
The money from the Department of Education is because we found out that there were only 4% Hispanic registered architects in the United States. And once we found that out, it became really alarming that something needed to be done.
Professor Gorski goes on to explain why he decided to start a bigger program for EPCC.
We were isolated here in El Paso. 250-mile radius are the only architecture schools. And so since we are within the state of Texas and we wanted to be able to transfer our credits to a baccalaureate program, closest was San Antonio or Lubbock. Most people are not aware that we do have an architecture program. Many high school counselors are not aware. They just assume that if you want to be an architect, you have to go to UTEP. If you go to UTEP, you find out your only opportunity is engineering.
Wanting to see a bigger picture for El Paso architects, Professor Gorski explains what his hopes are for his students.
When a student leaves one of our programs, the main thing I want them is to not be afraid and not understand what they're seeing. In other words, there should be no surprises out there. If they walk into an architect's office, even after only 2 years here at EPCC, none of that should be a surprise to them.
Going further into my investigation, I was still wondering what exactly had been finished, since the street was still blocked, but not the building.
The building itself is physically done at this point, minus a minor few touch-ups here and there called a punch list. The furnishings have been ordered. It will be ready for classes in the fall semester. It's a very unique type of structure. And so the main thing that I want for our students who have a drive to become an architect is to have the greatest opportunity from the faculty as well as the facilities and the lectures, so that there are no surprises and they can concentrate on using their God-given talent as designers and do what architects love more than anything else, and that's design.
The architecture building is scheduled to open sometime in August 2017. I'm Jorge Casillas from EPCC News.
Thank you, George. Big things and big changes are coming here to El Paso. If you have any other questions on the architecture building, please contact EPCC Campus Live.
Speaking of campus life, the rising political tensions across the nation have spiked recently, having students face heated discussions in the classroom. With us is Jason Nunez, who went out to find out how these tensions may be affecting EPCC students.
Thank you guys again. Now, while political tensions are becoming a more growing problem here in the country, it's also becoming a more frequent problem on college campuses. Now, while I personally don't feel as though anything severe has touched El Paso yet, I do feel as though the college campuses here are touching a more political correctness climate than usual. So I took the opportunity to go to Valle Verde campus to find out more.
Together,
we will make America great again.
Donald J. Trump is now President of the United States. President Obama.
When the 2016 election came to a close with a victory for Donald Trump, it also divided the people into a state of you're either with me or against me. With many college protests spawning across the nation, one has to wonder if these tensions are affecting EPCC and its students. I set out to interview prominent student of the Valle Verde campus, Felipe Loza, and see his opinion if there's political tensions on campus.
Yes, there is a political tension simply because there's a lot of mixed, diverse culture here in El Paso, Texas. And being in the borderland city, there's a big political issue right now going on with Donald Trump, with the border wall, and with the immigration system and things of that nature. So there's definitely a big tension going on right now.
Nowadays, being politically open can be very dangerous if you don't lean towards a more progressive morality. Felipe, however, says otherwise.
I don't believe El Paso is a neutral state. I think El Paso is more conservative as to the state of Texas. I think Texas is changing. And I think there's a lot of change and adaptation that we're not ready to accustom to get ready for, I guess you would say. And therefore, with Donald Trump stepping into the office, he's firmly said that he is changing his policies with immigrations and with so many things. With that being said, us being a border city, there's so much diverse, so much culture here in El Paso. I think that tension's starting to be felt here in El Paso, and we're trying to make anything and everything out of a positive aspect.
Felipe Loza lives in El Paso, and he doesn't believe that political opinion should be suppressed. In fact, he believes that students should be more open.
I think speaking about politics is open to be freely, simply because we're in the United States of America and we have the freedom of speech, you know, and speech is one of the things we want to talk about is politics, and it's something, you know, that's what makes America so great is the divide and conquer and the Democrats and the Republic. You know, it's that there's always going to be some type of issue for us to agree or disagree upon.
Ivy League schools are notorious for having the most violent and or most ridiculous college protests, with Berkeley having full-scale wars and Cornell University students having cry-ins. You have to ask if maybe UTEP or EPCC students may one day sink to this kind of a low the Ivy League examples have set.
No, I don't believe that there's going to be violence, simply because I think El Paso, first of all, El Paso's culture, people, they're so open and they're understanding of the situation, but yet they're not going to let the situation take over the control. So therefore, as for Texas, I'm not too sure. I can't really speak highly of, but at the same time, we do have the right to bear arms. So I would think twice about doing anything stupid at any college or at any educational level.
Now, while I did reach out to EPCC official Alex Hernandez, the head director of the Human Resources Department of EPCC, I wasn't able to get a proper response back in time, other than that he feels that political tensions, while they may be rising here in El Paso, hasn't necessarily affected the college campus itself, but it will in the near future. Back to you guys in the studio.
You know, I didn't start seeing any of this political treat up until recently, but it's great to know that EPC is taking steps to grant students freedom without blowing others.
And that right there is all the news coverage we have for today. Thank you to all our viewers for joining us today. I'm Angel Diaz.
And I'm Josue Esquivel. Have a wonderful day, EPCC Tejanos.